Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mystic Door Tarot. This is Barb with your daily tarot card reading for Monday, March 10th, 2025. And today we have the Eight of Swords. Let's bring this in a bit. Well, a very interesting depiction of what the Eight of Swords is all about in this B tarot card deck. As we see, this particular hive has become empty. An ivy has taken over. And even looking up at the empty tree branches above, something has happened to create this kind of situation, an indication a lot of time has passed. Now, the hive in this case represents the mind, which at times can be one's worst enemy, and certainly when bad things happen around us, they affect the way we deal with future problems. So with this card, it can represent a person possibly falling into self-destructive patterns of behavior, not because they want to, but because it feels familiar and safe. And we see all the swords inserted into the hive, keeping it in a very fixed position. Now, this certainly could be that you've been in a particular situation or cycle for so long, you've forgotten what actual normalcy is. So you might find yourself in a situation kind of spinning the same thought patterns. There is a restriction being implied by this Eight of Swords that prevents you from moving forward. It can be negative self-talk. It can be being bombarded by negative energy in the form of communication, very much a fear-based energy. For some of you, causing stress and worry. So yes, the Eight of Swords coming in today can be an energy of being trapped by your thoughts. You could be having some self-doubt that interferes with you taking action. Or for some of you, you might have too many options that you feel just overwhelmed by indecision. Now, all of this, the thoughts, might be coming from within. This can be self-limiting beliefs formed earlier in your life or possibly from external sources you're coming in contact with on a daily basis. This could be different opinions from other people. This could be social media. This certainly can be information coming through on the news, being bombarded on a daily basis. But the key here today is moving through this energy and to remember that you don't need to pay attention to every thought, every opinion. Sort out what's most important to you and dismiss what is unhelpful and most likely fear-based. So for some of you today, with the Eight of Swords showing up, especially on a Monday, you might be dealing with or setting limitations, whether it's helpful or not. You might be struggling with self-doubt or lack of confidence today. You could be experiencing some type of restriction, whether it's self-imposed or coming from an external source. And many of you might have a tendency to overthink or analyze situations excessively. This certainly could be in regards to a circumstance, situation, a relationship, your actual job, your career. This could be what's going on in the country, in the world today. And there are blind spots, not seeing the whole picture, being unaware of possible solutions. Very powerful energy that can hold you in this place of fear, anxiety, and worry for a long, long time. So the action today might be to collect your thoughts, to identify patterns and gain perspective on self-imposed limitations. Trying to take small steps to break free from mental and emotional situations. And take it slow today. Prioritize tasks, breaking them down into manageable steps to ease feeling overwhelmed. And possibly seek guidance from trusted sources to gain clarity. Now, this is Gemini's card in energy. It is ruled by Jupiter with the numerology of number 8. So if you're a Gemini, this is your card, your energy coming in today. You could be feeling stressed out, anxious, overwhelmed by what's going on around you or something you're involved with. Now, for others, you might possess some of the traits of this air sign, and this is certainly about being adaptable. It's about communication, versatility, your mental agility. Gemini encourages learning, embracing change, and certainly fostering connections through very effective dialogue that eases the uncertainty, you might say. Now, with it being ruled by Jupiter, which represents expansion, wisdom, and abundance, the energy is very expansive and optimistic, promoting growth, exploration, the pursuit of higher knowledge, as Jupiter encourages broadening your horizons and embracing opportunities. So there's an indication here when the Eight of Swords shows up that you do indeed have options. You can break the cycle. You can break free from what you feel is a very restrictive cycle or energy. Breaking free from a situation, a circumstance, or a thought pattern. The number 8 numerology urges you to tap into your strength to gracefully navigate what you're up against on a daily basis. This 8 energy has a lot of power behind it, getting inner strength, hope, momentum. Letting go of what you see is getting you nowhere. And the crystal that is specifically associated with the 8 of Swords is Celestite, a blue crystal that symbolizes connection to the divine, your higher consciousness, spiritual wisdom. It is known as the stone of the angels. It helps promote emotional clarity and balance, gives you spiritual tranquility. So it is a popular crystal for meditation. Useful for clear communication, helps inspire creative ideas, and is very helpful in resolving conflict. In the end, you'll come to realize that the energy of the 8 of Swords, in which you feel in a stuck repetitive cycle, is really smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. You do have options. You do have choice. You need to prioritize what's most important to you. Take the first step to change this pattern by releasing what is actually serving no purpose or use to you any longer. Well, that is the energy for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Love and abundance. Until tomorrow.